lot of these guys, especially with a young team, it's just kind of a transition.
Right.
How do you approach that with them?
Well, I think you approach it just the same way in terms of the practices. Like you're going to go and get ready for an actual season. You got to do a couple things different. The game's a little faster. International play, you got to jump stop a little bit more instead of playing on the fly. It's a definite playing on the road in terms of, you got to be about 10, 15, 20 points better than the teams you play to be able to win. So you gotta be smart. You gotta take care of the basketball, just like basketball here. So for us, we're just trying to get better. And I told them a lot of our guys don't know what they're doing. Obviously, some of our older guys do, but the one thing you can always do is play hard. So just trying to get those guys to compete.
You have to lean on Bird and Sparrow and around, maybe 50 more than ever.
A little bit, yeah. Obviously, the guys that have the ball in their hands, you got to lean on. Sometimes that's an inexperienced guy for us. That's who has the ball in their hands. So our young guys are really going to get, quite an experience because a guy like Ronnie Johnson's going to have the ball in his hands a lot. But there's no doubt Bird really helps. Terone's not doing full contact stuff yet, so he's not out there all the time. So, but once he does in the next week or so, that'll really help.
Knee bottom a little bit.
Yes, same. It's been the same thing for him, and he actually hurt his hand. And so that's what he hurt about a month ago. So he broke a bone in his hand. So he's just not doing contact stuff.
Ready to go over there, you think, to play?
Yes, yeah. I would think he practices here in a couple of weeks.
So with your players now having new roles, now the old guard's kind of gone on, what have you learned about this team with the new players and with your old players?
Well, with the workouts that we're doing, we're trying to do a better job of establishing some post presence. We have a lot of size, but we also have a lot of inexperience in the post. So with those new guys, we're trying to get them incorporated. Obviously, Rayfel's a guy that can score the ball. Ronnie's a guy that can play the point and I think be a weapon for us. And then obviously AJ and Jake bring us some more size. So just trying to get those guys to get a feel, and also trying to figure things out myself. Sometimes as a coach, going in with the answers to start with an experienced team makes a whole lot of sense. And sometimes with an inexperienced team, just going in there and trying to figure some things out on the field.
It has to make for a busy month for the coaching staff. I know this month you're worried about the future, but you're also working with these guys here as well.
Right. Well, obviously with recruiting, you're out, and the days that we have off of practicing. So, just trying to help them. I think the workouts really help. Being out there, being able to work out with them, and getting ready for this practice, that's definitely helped.
Seriously, freshmen taking to it reasonably quickly, or the Reds?
I would say their heads spin a little bit. Just trying to get them to, anytime you're dealing with. Guys with size, trying to get them to do some things away from the basket, but obviously guards getting them to try to be able to play without the basketball and be able to defend, away from the basketball.
What did you see a couple of years ago when the players went? What's the biggest thing you think the players get out of a trip like that? Just being able to play against international competition, or also just got to go?
Well, from a basketball standpoint, it is. You're playing against bigger, stronger, players, older players. 4 years ago, we went to Australia. We played. Guys, and we tried to explain to them it's what they do for a living. This is, they're in their late 20s, early 30s, and if they don't perform, they lose their job. And so it's serious to them, it's business-like, and they're very, very physical, and so it really helped us, it really helped our team mature. So I think that's something when you come back from a trip like that, hopefully you have a lot of lessons learned. We were 2 and 3 on our trip, and we had a pretty good team, but we just weren't physical enough to compete against some of those groups.
With regards to Sandy, what has been his off-season goals to improve? What has he been working on? How has he been?
He's done a good job. He's in good shape. Just getting him to play throughout the season, be injury-free, I think is going to be very important for him. But he's always been a guy that's done very well in workouts. Just trying to get him as much game experience on his trip, I think is going to be the telltale for him.
How important is something like this?
Well, I think, we in our point guard position, we've had a guy there, or a couple guys there, for the past 4 or 5 years. I think that's important to get them used to playing with Ronnie Johnson and Terrell and Anthony both kind of combo. And I think that feel is so important to have that experience of playing with the guy who's running your team. It just doesn't come overnight. So I would say that's something for this group to get accustomed to, and get accustomed to playing with a little bit more size. We played with some really good big guys, but they've been different big guys than we have right now.
Same question with Lawson as with Sandy. What's he been working on? He's a guy with size, but also has athleticism. He's been around.
Well, I think he got thrown into the fire last year. It was difficult. He wanted to play a certain way, and he helped us in a sense. In another area, he was a little bit behind. I thought he was very good today in the first practice. So he brought a lot of energy. He played hard. Was very aggressive. But we need him to use his athleticism and kind of transform that into energy. And I think if he does that, he'll be pretty productive.
You're going into the season with 3 centers. You anticipate all 3 of those guys playing, or does that just kind of have to shake out?
Well,
You like your options?
yeah, I like having options. I think they're going to decide who plays. And before we could have filled that position, now we have more guys there. So we're looking forward to that competition and those guys telling us who we should play.
He's obviously got all of 1 Italy practice under his belt, but what kind of stuff do you like about him? Can he impact things defensively for you, at least on paper?
Yeah, I think he could. It's still a long way away. He's got great size. He's got great feel. Like most big guys, he's going to have to get into shape. If he can get into shape and learn to concentrate and play through some fatigue, I think he's got a chance to be a very good player.
Who's impressed you so far?
I thought Jacob had a very good practice. DJ has got an advantage because of his experience and he understands what's going on. But I thought the one guy that probably jumped out the first day was Jerry.
And he has to.
I hope so.
Donnie Hale.
All right.
How's he from a
No,
physical
he
standpoint?
did a good job. He's up to 230, and so that for us, that's huge. And so that was his goal for August 1st to be at 230, and he's already there. So if we can get him and Jacob to bring energy and play hard and use that 4 spot, it's going to be a little bit different for our group. We've had such a skilled 4 for a long time, and now those guys are going to be different. We're going to play a little bit different offense.
These first couple of practices, is it basically basics, or is it just kind of setting a tone for what you want?
It's basics. We don't even put stuff in for a while. We don't try to run plays or out of bounds plays or something about plays or sets. We just go a handful of practices and just try to get them. Right there, we were just jumping to the ball. I think we just trying to get guys to jump to the ball and pick up basketball. They don't do that. So just trying to get those guys to regain some old habits. For some of them, just to create that type of habit.
There's been a history when you guys take teams overseas, even when Katie was here, that it breeds a successful year. Do you think that this team maybe has something in them like that, even with the young guys?
Why I think this is great is because we have so many young players. To get that kind of experience is great. Even the workouts, you're going overseas without just having those workouts really help them. But I hope it, at least does have a lot of success.
Early
Did you go
impression.
to Orlando? Chris was saying that you might go down for one of the Pacers Celtics summer league.
Yeah, I went for the first 2 days.
Okay.
So
What was that like, and what's it kind of like right now for you watching? You can turn on NBA TV and see 1 of 4 or 5 guys.
Right. Well, it was good, seeing each one in Juwan. They didn't have the summer league last year because of the lockdown, so I think that experience will really help those guys. And I thought they both did a great job with the Celtics. It's such a great organization. And then Chris was fortunate enough to get back with the Pacers on their summer league, and I thought he did a good job. And the Pacers have made some nice moves here of late that I think is really going to help them, and they have a great foundation. So, but it's fun just watching the former players play.
When do you get Simpson back? Or when you get Simpson, I should say.
I don't know, to be honest with you. I would think they're going to know something here next week or 2. He's doing more stuff now, but we've yet to have him even in a workout, even like a shooting workout. He's over there now. I've yet to see him do anything besides wear the bike and stuff.